Okay, my first point is that Mr. Hastings doesn't control the weather. So, you saying that it's his fault, technically it's not true because he didn't make them stay in the storm. Another fault is that they rested for 5 days. They could have rested for 4 days, and if they had rested for 4 days, they would have been able to pass through and they wouldn't have gotten stuck. Another point is that they didn't listen. If they had listened to George Kleiman at the fort, then they wouldn't have gone because he had said that he had tried to go through with wagons and that it was impassable. And since it's impassable, he wouldn't have been able to go through like they got stuck. Another reason is that they made a choice. They made a choice to go and they got stuck. They made a choice to go the second route and got stuck again. Not only did they not listen to George Kleiman, they didn't listen to Langford Hastings himself. He said that in a note by a rock that it was impassable and that they should turn around and go the long route, and they didn't listen to him. Not only that, they were the only ones to get stuck in the group, so if they were the only ones to get stuck, obviously they did something wrong because other people listened to Langford Hastings and they didn't get stuck. Another reason is that the group decision. They didn't go with, the larger train that went the longer route. They split up as a smaller group, and they're the ones that got stuck. Another choice they made that was fatal for them was they could have turned around. Halfway through, or 5 days in, when they were still only a mile in, they could have turned around and gone the other route, but they didn't, and that took them longer. Therefore, they got stuck in the snow. That's it.
Okay, well, one point that my opponent Kelsey made was that in a letter, Lansford Hastings told them to turn around, but he didn't actually do that. He told them to come find him, and guess how many days they spent doing that? They spent 5 days trying to find him. If they had not spent 5 days trying to find him, and Lansford Hastings had told them where to go in the letter, they would have made it over with plenty of time. Also, the main reason he wanted people over there was to rule California as a tyrant. He was only interested in fame rather than trying to settle a new land. And furthermore, he'd never actually seen the route, the old one or the new one, and he'd certainly never traveled it with a wagon. He promised grass and water. There was some grass until about, say November or so. Then the grass was gone and the weather set in. Again, you can't control the weather, but still. After the whole epidemic, he was not in any of the search parties. He didn't even care about the Donner Party afterwards. He promised to lead them, but then he wasn't even there. But still enforced that he go. And with the incident with George Kleiman, he was a persuasive person. He wrote a letter to them at about the same time George Kleiman told them not to go, and enforced that they go, and told them that it would be safe. He claimed it was flat land, when the hills ate up more time, again leading to the tragic event. He promised letters with directions, those didn't come, so that's my case.
Okay, so you said that they wasted 5 days going to find him, but really, you can't write in a letter where something is if everything looks the same. He had to show them where to go. So, really, it wasn't a waste of 5 days. It was either find him or get lost on your own. Do you have proof that he was going to be a tyrant? Because he didn't want to be a tyrant. He just wanted people to buy his land. That's not tyrant. You said that the land that he's told them to go was never seen, and that's not true. He had seen it. He had just been on horse, not wagon. You said that he said that they had grass, and there was grass. He didn't say a specific amount of grass. Also, you listened to them. It said, if you didn't know where to go, if you had to jump off of a cliff or go around a canyon, would you jump off of a cliff if someone just told you to do it? No, you wouldn't, so you shouldn't listen to somebody.
Okay, the first thing you mentioned was that he couldn't have told them exactly where to go on on the mountain. That is true, but there are these things, I don't know what they're called. I think they're called maps. Yeah, he could have used one of those very quickly. Okay, let's see. The Donner Party was not forced to go on the route. They were convinced based on his publishings. The Donner Party used that 5 days looking for Hastings again with the map that he could have drawn. The Donner Party made choice based on his publishings, aka they trusted him. And again, with the tyrant thing, that was mentioned in the video, so I do believe that could be used as a fact. Hastings told them it was impassable after they were already on their way at a point where they could not turn around. So that's my final thoughts.